Now, let's see if we can click on those things. Yes, we got cellular data. We've got the Bluetooth facilities. SLW, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but we can find out. Maybe I'll pop it onto the screen once I figure that out. Okay, so this is an edit function. Let's see if we add file manager. Okay, and it adds it to the screen there. Adds it to the menu, I should say, on the bottom, which isn't too bad. I would actually like Android Auto there because I use that quite regularly. Okay, let's just click done there. So there's the edit icon consistently there. Now let's see if we could hold that. Yes. So we can modify a lot of this also, which is basically similar to the prior version, but of course with a different interface. And here we can actually add apps, which actually we weren't able to do before. So let's do that. No space left. So that means I would have to remove one of these items. Now we've got this one here and this one here as identical. So it's possible, I don't know if I can actually move that. Oh, I can move it along. But you can't actually get rid of it because there's no minus sign. So we'll just leave this for now. Click done. Yeah, everything's on the bottom. Okay, so for the nav, you just got to accept the feature again. Allow navigation to access the AC, including the temperature, you allow. And that sets up the nav. Agree to the privacy policy. And it's very similar to the way the older nav would work with these options down here on the top right. Now if we go back down to settings, about, let's see if there's any offline data that needs to be downloaded. There is an update. Let's click update. Okay, so it's updated to the 17th of the 7th. You got here the music facility, contacts, that's the phone contacts, recents, and this is where you can actually dial. That's of course the Android Auto. Okay, that's dropped my wireless. So let's reconnect the wireless. So to go through the menus quickly, we see here the general information, the version detail. Here it says it is the latest version. We can click the check. And it's interesting, we see here, this is from 2026, February. So it's still not a recent firmware update, but it's getting there. It's still about 6 months old, this particular version. Okay, So this is all the information. Let's go through from top down like we did before. The ambient lighting settings, like if I wanted to enable dynamic colors, rhythm ambient light dimming at night, that's all fine. The daytime running light, that icon's obviously changed. The height of the headlights, and adaptive front light, this is new. Adaptive front light is an ADAS function. By using vehicle mounted camera, this function monitors the road conditions ahead in real time and automatically switches between high and low beams to provide better visibility for the driver while minimizing glare for other vehicles and pedestrians. Note, the accuracy of AFL is affected by multiple factors such as weather, light and road conditions, and there may be cases of misjudgment. The driver should remain alert at all times and should not solely rely on AFL. I think this was actually part of the older version. It's just renamed. As far as I remember, this was just the adaptive high beams. So it would turn on the high beam when there's no street lights or it's too dark or something like that. So they call it now adaptive front light. And there you are. So it's not a new feature. I think it's just a renamed feature. The courtesy lighting's fine. Let's go to locks, tailgate, window locks, remote unlock all doors, and all this information. This is fine. The driving password and digital keys. These are features that were in the previous version also. And you've got this search function up here where you can search for all options. The audio display. I've got the media volume muted at the moment. Surround sound, custom sound, notifications. Screen brightness. The screensavers, adaptive brightness, instrument display. Nothing's really changed there. Theme select for the HUD. Yes, that's also been there before. That's fine. The energy display for regenerative braking, as I put it on standard. Charging and discharging. Now, they did say there's a additional feature here, but actually this is totally brand new. AC charging current limit. We couldn't do this before. So you can limit it to 6 amp charging, 8 amp charging, 10 amp charging, and 16 amp charging. Now, very similar to the Tesla, looks like. AC charging current limit. The vehicle will limit the maximum AC charging current according to the set value. The actual charging current of the vehicle is related to the capacity of power supply equipment and power grid. So if you want very slow charging, you could change it to 6 amps. Now, if you've got external chargers, there's this setting that you can actually do on external chargers, like portable chargers, things like that. You can't do it with the BYD supplied one, but third-party aftermarket ones you can. But this is an interesting feature if you don't want to always fast charge. So, for example, I could change it to 6 amps, and that's most probably 2 kilowatt. Like we can do the calculations, P equals IV. P equals IV. So what that means is I being the current, V being the voltage, and we can work out the actual power delivered to the vehicle. And there's also the battery preheating option. Turn on this function before charging at low temperature which can reduce DC charging time. After the battery temperature reaches the appropriate range, the function is automatically turned off and needs to be re-enabled next time. This function is not turned on when charging. So in other words, if you're in very cold temperatures, you'd want to preheat your battery so the DC charging can work at maximum efficiency. And this is really cold climates, like for example under 0 degrees Celsius. You would use a feature like this. Going to the smart charging, doesn't look too much different from what we're accustomed to. The version has been upgraded, as we saw. The energy consumption. Seat adjustments. We now got 3 positions, where previously we only had the 2. And the seat heating. Now this looks completely different to the way it was before, but in the premium model of this vehicle, you've got the vented seats and the heated seats on both passenger and driver side. And this is the AC settings for the configuration. Again, this is a totally different look and feel, but it gives you very similar to the previous version, very similar options, like the automatic purification, the AC mode being comfort or eco, auto internal circulation upon parking. Yeah, that's all normal. That's been there before. And the AC actually looks a little bit different to the way it was previously presented, but basically we've got the same functionality. So if I was to turn this on, swing, swing, very, very similar functionality, but a whole new look and feel. Up and down. And of course you've got the 3 fingers you can use. Up, down, left and right for the power of the fan. So that hasn't changed. And instead of the dual button, now you've got a button called sync, and this syncs both sides of the temperature.